Hey guys, I'm Steve and welcome back to the channel. And I got all the questions here for the Q&A today. You guys have some good questions. So without further ado, I'm gonna jump into them and I'll try to elaborate on each of them, as we go through this. All right, the first question comes from, I think I'm saying your name right, brother. I'm sorry. Emae Hand. And Emae Hand asks, what are you using to create your thumbnails? Well, I use Canva, C-A-N-V-A, right? And you can look it up online, or they also have a mobile app, and it's called Canva. Before I was just trying to figure out how to do thumbnails. I didn't even know how to do it. And a lot of people, I want to say this real quick, this is not a traditional video that I make where, I talk about a specific subject or something. So I'm going to be honest with you guys and just really talk to you. Canva is very good. They also have another one out that's called and I figured I would lose the memory when I get on here. What's the other one? It'll come back to me. But yeah, Canva is what I use. Now they have Canva, it's free. Now it's free, you can use it initially. I think they give you 30 days or something like that. But after that you gotta pay for it if you want the Canva Pro. Now I use the Canva Pro because it offers a lot of different adjustments to your thumbnail. Like if you guys can really look back at when I first started a few months ago, my thumbnails were horrible because I didn't have a concept. I didn't, do the research and understand that your thumbnails are very eye-catching. It has a lot to do with the impression of people clicking on your videos. So I thought it was basically on the subject or what you had to say, if that was catchy, the words were catchy, but that's only part of it. But yeah, I use Canva. And man, if you check it out, what I did was I got Canva, and then I looked at some videos on how to use it, how to set up my thumbnail, how to set up my YouTube banner, and I'm still getting better at it. You know what I mean? Everybody's ideas are different. Like some people's videos catch, and they can have basic thumbnails, but you'll figure it out as you go. So that's what I use. I use Canva. Question number 2 come from my girl, Miss Fran. Miss Fran asked me, how do you calibrate your portfolio at the end of the year and what methods are involved? I'm gonna put this down for a second. Earlier when I made the video where I was talking about my goals going into December of 2022 into January 2023, I mentioned that I calibrate my portfolio. This is something a lot of investors do. What it is basically I have a lot of stocks that pay me dividends, and when they pay me these dividends, I'm in the dividend enrollment reinvestment plan. So instead of me getting the money as cash, I get the money, as the company pays me the profit, I get it turned back into stock. So naturally, my positions will be growing because shares are being added to them annually. Now, depending on how the market is for that year, I might let them stay there and grow. Now, I have multiple companies that I own in the stock market that do this for me. The basis of what I do as far as, being a long-term dividend investor, meaning the company pays me for holding stock. This is what happens, you reinvest the money, and then you build these shares of stock. So what happened is, the reason why I calibrate is because I don't want to have too many shares of one position, of one company and one sector in my portfolio, when I can take and break those shares down and then keep my portfolio stabilized. The reason why you recalibrate is because at any given time, any stocks I have in my portfolios, depending on, my big portfolio where I have my long-term dividend stocks and lifetime holdings, I try to recalibrate the money to where I only have 3 to 4%. That company will make 3 to 4% of my portfolio. In case something happens, it's a fail-safe to where only 3 or 4% of my money is only affected. So that's the reason why I calibrate my portfolio. And I learned that from, watching others and people telling me that, because I was figuring, I'm like, what is recalibration? I didn't know what it was. And the methods that I use is, say, like I give you an example. I had over 1,000 shares of AT&T, right? And I just trimmed them down you know, significantly took the money, because I made money off of AT&T because my cost basis was around, because I made a huge purchase after the split in the Discovery, when Discovery split with AT&T. I used it as an opportunity to pour more money into it, to the stock. And since I've done that, my cost basis came down. So, I mean, I've made money since the slight rise of AT&T, since the summer going into now. So, and it does help build up my portfolio, and it'll help build up my position in the company. Now, I have these scattered in multiple other portfolios that I have, but the sum total of my AT&T holdings, I've shaved them down, because I mean, I've held AT&T for years. So, I mean, I've made my money off of it, and it's consistently paying me every month a certain amount of money. So I try to keep the holdings at around 3%. I don't want to have like 60% of my portfolio, even though I got a whole bunch of other stocks. 80% is AT&T, because if AT&T, God forbid, something happens and the stock goes down, now my portfolio is getting drugged with it. You know, so I keep it around, like, I think right now 3.16% is what my AT&T holdings are in the whole portfolio. So that's what I do. I just sell off a certain amount of stock. You know, I sell them off, put them back. You know, I never take the money out of the investment account. I just hold it there, and then I use it for another buying opportunity that comes up, or whatever arises. And that's how I handle it. Question number 3. This is from my man, Mr. Gary Bragg. What city were you born in? Oh, it's a 2-part question. What city were you born in, and where do you live now? Okay, I was born in Philadelphia, only at the Philadelphia Naval Hospital. I don't even know if that's around anymore. 1973. I was born in Philadelphia Naval Hospital. My grandfather, who raised me, is a military veteran. So I guess I was born in that hospital in Philadelphia. I was born in Philly, but I was raised in Camden, New Jersey. That's where I'm originally from. I've been here since, and I live now in Houston, Texas. I've been here since 2007, and I've never looked back. A little bit about that situation. I came out here to start my own business. And one of the questions is about my business, and I'll get into it later. That's why I came to Houston to start my own business, because it's crazy how life is. It all came down to a coin toss. Heads was Houston, Texas, and tails would have been Phoenix, Arizona. And I said, no matter what happens when I flip this quarter, that's where I'm going. And it landed on Houston. So there's a very slim chance I could have been saying I'm from Phoenix, Arizona right now. But yeah, that's where we are. All right. This question comes from, let me see if I'm saying this right, ACXTL. What do I do for a living? What is my profession? Okay. What I do for a living is this. Now, I come from a mechanical background. I was in the Air Force. I served in the Air Force. I was a C5 mechanic. Once I got out of there, I got into diesel mechanics, and I ran diesel mechanics for a while. You know, different types of applications. I had, what is up with me coughing today? I have all my ASC certifications. They've long since expired, but I do have them. Man, I don't know what's going on. Oh my God. And now what I do is I came to Houston. That's part of the reason why I came to Houston. I came to Houston to start my own business. And what I do now is, a lot of people never guess, I'm a business owner, but I deal with luxury aquarium design. Meaning, if you ever seen the TV show Tanked, I used to be the affiliate for that company in the Texas division. You know, they used to have an affiliate link where you could go and see my company name on there. But yeah, I used to do that, and over time, you know, we just kind of separated. But yeah, what I do is aquarium. I'm into aquarium design, and I deal with high-class luxury aquarium design projects. So, and I've been doing that for 13 years. All right. another question from Mr. Mr. Gary. Mr. Gary says, do I play or watch any kind of sports? And do I hunt and fish? Well, we go with the latter first. I don't hunt. I've never hunted. I mean, I don't have anything against it. I've never just had an opportunity to go hunting. I fished once. And my brother, he lives down here too. Like, he's an avid fisherman. He's always begging me to go. But I'm like, I don't know. Because I work around fish all the time. And it's kind of like, it'd be like work. But I'll give it a try again. I went fishing one time. It was in North Texas. We were just at a lake. And I didn't catch anything. I just kept them on the ride out there. So, nothing ever happened with that. But as far as, did I play any sports or do I play any sports? I played football briefly in high school. And my main focus was running track. I was a track guy. As far as now, I'm very big into football. I watch boxing on TV. I'm like, everything football, college football, I'm really in that now. My favorite NFL team, I'm a diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan. I always have been, always will be. So I know I'll probably get some slack off of that, you know, but yeah, I like the Eagles. Hopefully the Saints will keep losing, no offense to anybody, so we can get that #1 draft pick in a good position in this upcoming draft. So I'll be watching 49ers today to see if they lose. But yeah, yeah, it's just basically football, Mr. Gary. That's it. And we'll go to the next question. 3M Miller. How did I get into investing for the long term? Okay. For me to answer that question, I'll just say how I got into investing, period. Once I start working and get going on my own in my own business, a huge amount of money came to me. And then you got to look back at this situation. The TV show Tank, it was right before the TV show Tank even came in the van. You know, in Houston, there was a large market. They had a lot of buildings with huge fish tanks. And I used to service them for a company. I wound up leaving, going on my own. A lot of customers came with me. So I had got hit with a huge influx of money on a monthly basis and to start the business. And it was a scary experience. But what happened was, once I got all this money, and I'm used to, you know, just being a regular guy working for a dollar amount, I started to hold on to the funds. Because I'm like, I don't know if this is a nightmare or is this a dream come true? So I just kept holding on to money and I let it go. You know, I bought things as I needed them. Like I bought my work truck. I didn't go out and buy nothing extravagant because, I mean, a lot of my deals, I get paid on a yearly basis. So it'd be a huge chunk of change. So right at the time I started my business, I didn't know a couple of my accounts that wanted to sign with me had ended their fiscal year with previous companies. So with you being in business, they don't know how small your business is or how big your business is. So what happened, they were writing me checks, and the checks were like tens of thousands of dollars. Where do we send this to? What P.O. box? I'm like, oh my God, I don't have a P.O. box. It's like I had to figure everything out. So I got an huge influx of money, and like I was smart with it because I didn't want to mess this up. You know, this opportunity of having a business and what happened is, along the lines, about 4 years into it, I had a serious amount of cash that nobody knew about. I just was keeping it in the bank, monitoring my vending accounts, managing my money, and just living like a normal person. And one of my clients said to me, he said, you know, because like he was one of my clients from the beginning, but he's very well off. He said, hey, Steve, you know, let me ask you something. Me and him started talking. I was telling him about some scenarios I was going through. And CNBC was on TV, and they had the stock market. And I said, if I can understand that, I'll be good. He was like, you don't know how to invest? He said, what are you doing with your money? And this man didn't have to teach me anything. So he took me in a part of his house where, you know, he had his main office, and he broke some things down, and he started giving me tasks to perform. You know, one of them was to open my own investment account. And he said, I'll teach you everything you want to know as long as you're willing to learn. He said, because you're sitting on a lot of money, and it's, you know, money's not made to just sit in the bank like that. You have to figure out a way to make more money out of the money. And then, like, I started getting mentoring. He started, you know, telling me stuff. And, like, this man didn't have to do that. He's long since passed. But I'll be forever grateful for him for that. And that started the journey. But, like, you know, he taught me about how to invest long term. you know, the method he used, which is long-term dividend investing, in which you get a stock and then you get paid off of the snowball effect of holding the stock over the long term, where you reinvest the dividends, meaning instead of taking the money, like I said earlier, instead of taking the money, you just invest the money back into buying more shares, and thus your stock count will go up and the snowballing effect will go. And another thing, like, I didn't really see what he was saying. I mean, I seen it, and it was good just having money there, because I mean, I wasn't doing nothing with it anyway. I was too scared to spend it, you know, because I wasn't afraid to admit that I was like financially illiterate to a lot of things. I didn't want to make a whole bunch of money and then just to spend it because I think that the money's going to last. It's not, you know. So I had caught wise to that when I was early in my in my life, and I was like, you know, it got to be more than just holding this money. And luckily, he told me it's a better way and investing. So like now, I don't have to live well, I don't make paychecks, but you know, dollar to dollar, I don't have to really worry about my funds because I've done the right thing for the past 13 years. So I mean, it paid off, and I can never get back to what that man has given me and his family. So you know, but that's that on that. That's how I wound up learning, because you know, he was telling me about stocks and what to do and what not to look for. Don't get caught up in the hype, like stuff I say on the video to you guys. You know, a lot of stuff I say I got from him, and I mean, it worked out for me. I mean, initially, you know, you're gonna make a lot of investing mistakes that I didn't really tell him about. Like I said, you know, in other videos where I said, oh well, I was just buying any company because it was a good name, and not realizing that, you know, that can be misleading. So that's how I got, you know, introduced to investing in the long term by the gentleman. I don't want to say his name because I don't know if his family would be okay with that. Another question from my girl Sue Burtz. Sue Burtz said, what do I think about Airbnb versus hotels? It's a two-part question. And have I ever traveled and shared the room with a large group of people at any given time? All right, I'll answer the last one first. I went on a vacation one time and it was like 20 people. I only knew one. And when we went to the vacation, we stayed in a hotel, it was in South Padre Island, I think it was. And at the time, we were all on different floors of the hotel, and it was okay. But we were in a hotel. We were not in a villa, like, you know, in the video described with the young lady that was killed. I never stayed in anything like that where, like, you know, it's just a group of people. Now, I mean, unless you count me, my kids, and my ex-wife, yeah, I've done it. But I mean, as far as strangers, I never did that. I probably wouldn't even do that, you know, because I'm a character person. So I know people's limitations of when, you know, they will and won't act up. So like a lot of times I'm like, I ain't going nowhere with this guy, or, you know, her over here, man, she gonna be starting problems. I don't know. But no, I never really experienced that. Now, as far as Airbnb, I've never stayed in an Airbnb. I mean, a lot of people I have stayed in Airbnbs. They said like them. Me, I'm so used to being in hotels. Like if I go to Vegas or something like that, I'm a hotel person all day. So I mean, it's a hotel for me. But to answer your question, I mean, I stayed in hotels with people, like, you know, we were close together, but I never stayed in the same room as somebody other than family, you know. So, and let's see what else we got here. All right, Derelict Duke, how many shares of AT&T do you have? Do you own, and how much does it pay you in dividends per year? Okay, at present moment in one of my portfolios, and I'm only gonna give you one of my portfolios because I don't, you know, I got to calculate all this stuff. I got 877 shares of AT&T. Now at $1.11, I think it pays $1.11 or $5. What is it? What's it? $1.11 annually per share. So $1.11, 877 is like $973. Like $973 a year I make just holding the stock of AT&T. And that's just in one of my portfolios. I have it in two other portfolios. But Yeah, I have 877 shares in one portfolio. The other portfolio I got 306. In another portfolio, I think I have 41 shares. I don't know why I have it. But yeah. And that's that. Now, last question. Barbie Dans. Do I own any pets? No. I do not own any pets. I'm 49 years old. And now I do have an aquarium. Because, I mean, I deal with aquariums. I do have an aquarium with one fish in it. And it's a marbled goby. I don't know if anybody, people you know, the marbled goby get like this, like that big. But he eats like a house, and that's all I need. And basically, he sits there and doesn't do anything. Sometimes I got to check and see if he's dead, but that's just the marbled goby's MO. They just sit there. They ambush predators. They just sit there. Like, y'all good in there, stick my hand in there when I'm cleaning the tank. You won't even move. Even though he has bit me twice, and yeah, it hurt it. But guys, that's it for the questions. I hope I answered everything to the fullest. Maybe later on we have another Q&A somewhere down the line. But I enjoy talking to you guys. I hope you got a little bit of more knowledge about who I am and what I do. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, man, you guys have been showing extremely good support. I appreciate you guys taking this journey with me. And as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for letting me ramble on. Take care.